What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. I'm joined by Lou here. It is a Sunday. I'm in a chill mood today, especially after that 3 points. Relaxed mood, three and three. But the news doesn't stop, so we're here to talk about the latest transfer news. As you can see, there is an update on Diouf now that SA is complete. So we're going to be going through that. Adam Wharton, positive news and more. Make sure to get involved throughout the show by leaving down your thoughts in the comment section down below, as well as dropping a like and subscribing if you are new to the channel. By the way, thank you to each and every one of you for all the shows. The likes have been fantastic. The interactions have been great as well. So really appreciate you all as well. Lou, I couldn't talk to you yesterday. You went to the game. I know you've done a player ratings today, so make sure to check that out, people. After the great show with Patrick. How are you today? Like on a Sunday, you don't have to worry about Palace midweek because we're playing next week Sunday. How are you feeling?
I think your mic just went a bit.
Is it?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Right.
This is probably the best I've felt as a Palace fan since Aston Villa 5-0 last season. Yeah, since then, because the summer transfer window was a bit of a shit show. Then we didn't win for 9 games, and even then, Wharton was crocked. Players weren't on form. Still was tough to get a win. Now all of a sudden we're sourcing, we're blowing teams away. Our defense can't get isn't getting taken apart anymore. Clean sheets, wins away. Mateta's got the form of last season. Even Eze's performance was much better yesterday. New signing, right 10, left-footed. Another championship talent, Diouf pending. Like, can't really complain.
Yeah, and we've only lost 2 games since the Spurs game, which was back in October, which sounds crazy. Of course, we were struggling with like draws, not struggling, but we're just picking up draws, and now it's getting converted to wins. And I think that's down to the players understanding Glasgow a bit more. And by the way, not everything's gone for us this season. Like the injuries, even with Adam Wharton, which we'll talk about, it hasn't helped us at all because, I mean, he plays a significant role to how we build out from the back, especially progressive passes as well. And we haven't had that. But despite that, we're in a good position. We are playing kind of catch up, but saying that, it's not like we're massively behind teams. For me, we'll talk about it in the Brentford preview. But, if we beat Brentford, then we're only, few points behind 10th place. So it's not like we're massively behind the pack. And by the way, there's a good amount of points still to collect. So overall, it is positive. However, saying that, SA coming in, which is going to be great. Well, he has come in. We need more. One more at least, according to Glasgow. So we're going to be discussing that. You better absolutely smash all this. I was literally on a stream with him just now. And apparently Palace were crap yesterday. That's what I heard. Apparently it's both teams that were crap, according to Lawless, but of course. He's a bit deluded when it comes down to it. Wharton is back soon, which is good to have in the team. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Wharton as well, people. For everyone that's joining now, we're going to get started with the transfer news. Then we'll talk about another transfer news, which is on Chalobah, but it won't stay too long on that. Then we'll talk about Wharton and wrap up. Make sure to get involved throughout the show as well. Let's start off with the big one, which is Hadji Malick Diouf, which we've been linked to since the January window started. But according to Alan Nixon, there's a positive update on that Crystal Palace will make a new move for the Senegalese left wing back Diouf in a £50 million swoop. Palace went to Spain to watch Diouf play in a training match. And if Palace do get Diouf, they will loan out Franco Ume as well, who's got interest from Scottish clubs. So we have gone to watch him play in a training match. I don't know how much you can take from watching a player play in a training match. And it seems like he is now our next target. No surprises in that. Next move is going to be around £50 million, according to Nixon. Do you think that's enough to get the job done? Or how long do you reckon this is going to take? Because that is now our focus after SA.
Listen, Glasner gave the warning after the West Ham game, man. He gave them the warning. I've been a big advocate for saying when Glasner's got a problem, I've got a problem. Like that's how that's my stance on the club at the moment. And after a great win, 2 wins in 3 days, he let them know. if I have one thing that annoyed me, it wasn't done quick enough. So I don't want any of this haggling, bruv. Send the bank transfer tomorrow.
Send it tonight. If it feels up to me, send it tonight, and then book him the flight tomorrow.
Slavia Prague bank account or sort code reference Juf. Yeah, send the one.
But that's the thing. I wonder how much they want, because the reports were suggesting that they want around 20, around 20 million pounds, 25 million euros potentially. I saw it at the start of the window. Now it's gone quiet. But yeah, I don't want to drag this on till deadline day. It'll be nice to talk about transfers, but I'd rather just relax and not talk about transfers. Next week, if they reject the 15 million pounds, you sit on the table and you just come to an agreement. Don't delay it. Don't spend weeks till deadline day to get this transfer sorted. I'm not saying it's FIFA and we can sign a player in 2 days, but we know what they've wanted. We spoke to them before. We just put it on hold to get Roman SA sorted, which we got sorted now. Now put all your eggs in a basket, go after him, get him. And Brentford, is that too much to ask for the Brentford game? Or do you reckon, that is doable, considering how much we've wanted him all season? Well, not all window long.
Listen, I'll be real. Get it done, man. Get it done. Like he said already. He said, and I'm going to keep reiterating, when Glasner.
I think he froze. I think he's froze. Let's see if he comes back. But if he doesn't come back, let me quickly read this comment. Colin said, agree with Lou. Whatever Glasner wants, we have to achieve it for him. Glasner said SA took a bit longer than you'd like, but middle of the window. But better middle of the window than entering. So he's expecting Diouf to be done by next week. Look, Glasner said this not only yesterday, he also said this before the window started, that he wanted players in early. Like that has been his message all along to the board. He spoke about the summer window, about deadline day signings, and saying, the players are not bad. However, we got them late. And he said it again. And there's a reason why I'm saying it. And I love that for him as well. The fact that he can come out publicly and speak about it and add that pressure, because we need the board to be held accountable. I'm going to take Lou. Oh, well, Lou disappeared. He'll probably end up coming back. But we need the board to be accountable. As good as they've done with, some of the signings, especially, and bringing in Glasgow at the football club, if the manager wants to play in early, then do it. If there's one manager there's worth taking a risk on, it is on Oliver Glasner. His CV speaks for himself in terms of play improvements. You look at yesterday's game against West Ham, and you look at the improvements that we've seen from the likes of even Mateta. Look at Mateta now. And I know he improved under Roy Hodgson, but Mateta has reached a level which I've never seen him before at Palace, and I never expected him to be at this level. But it comes down to the manager getting the best out of his players. West Ham didn't have a single shot on target against us, and we'll beat them 2-0. This is the manager to back. This is the manager to take risks on. So if he wants a player, and as I said, it's easy for me to say it, but if we're haggling on a few £1 million, just for this time, don't do it, Palace. For this time, back him, because there's a situation where Glasner's contract is not forever. It's going to expire. So you need to show ambition to the manager. You need to make sure that if you want him to sign a new deal, look, we've listened to you, we've delivered, we want you at the football club, because he can easily move on. He can. There will be loads of clubs interested in him. So for Diouf, it's fantastic that we're going to be interested in him and we're going to go for a new move. But for me, I'm going to see how serious we are depending on how things move next week onwards. Because ideally, next week, there needs to be a good amount of progression. We've been linked with him before. It's not a player that we haven't spoke to. So now let's get it done. Let's not waste any time. That's how I really see it.
Listen, we've got a manager that took someone like Mateta, who everyone said sell, get rid of him, recoup. He took a player like Hughes and that was like a squad player for 5 million, and turned them into players that we said we cannot get rid of. Like, these are integral players in our team. Like, this is no one but Glasner's doing. Like, I don't think anyone understands this manager can manage at any top European club. Anyone. Like, this is like Bournemouth with Iriola. Like, you need to keep these managers at your club. This is the only way we're going to attract top players. Like, I swear to God, if Glasner goes, that's when, like, I feel like it will be our demise if he goes at the wrong time.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go in this way. Like, I don't think he's that upset over the situation, but he did mention it. Like, it's nice bringing him in, but let's bring in players a bit earlier. As he's been saying, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. So for me, there's a comment here which I want to bring up because it's a fair point to make, and I've got an answer to it. And it was about unrealistic to have him from the man on guitar, unrealistic to have him available for Brentford, but it could definitely happen.
On the bench.
The reason, the reason why I'm talking about Brentford and putting that pressure on the football club is because this is not a player that we've started negotiating today. There's been talks. You can see it with all the news. There's been talks before we signed SA, but we put it on hold because it seemed like SA was the easier deal to get done. So we kind of know their demands. And yes, they might haggle. Yes, they might play difficult in terms of Slavia Prague, their demands. However, as I've said, if it's a few £1 million, I'd rather for this manager pay those few £1 million and bring him in, because that is doable. If we're going for £15 million, they're not asking for £35 million. I think they're asking around £20 million, something around that region.
20 million euros. I think it was quoted.
20 million euros. Yeah. So what, like £18 million, 17? Give that extra. Well, I'm saying it like it's my own money, and I know it's not FIFA, but I know we got an extra million or two. Like, what I'm saying is, don't delay it. Yes, don't cave into their demands just like that, but don't delay it past this next week to the week after and a week after, and here we are on deadline. Then we sign him and pay an extra few £1 million. Get it done sooner rather than later. Let him come with this team. Let him train with the team. Let him be an option off the bench. Because God forbid, if something happens to Mitchell, which we've even spoke about his performances, about how much he offers going forward. But yesterday I thought he was fantastic defensively, by the way. Hats off to him. There's no one else. And this has been the situation from the summer. This is the summer doings that we are here in this position right now. Because if we signed a wing back in the summer, right now we wouldn't need to be putting that pressure on the club about Diouf. But that's the thing. We didn't do it. So here we are, naturally so, asking for the deal to get done sooner rather than later. Just don't play the long game with Diouf. And hopefully we won't, because, I mean, that should be the priority. Blaser spoke about two positions, and we know left wing back.
Honestly, if we get past Doncaster, because it's not like the FA Cups exits happen. If we get past Doncaster and Diouf, SA and Wharton are fit and we avoid injuries, a serious cup run is on the cards, because I'll back us to beat anyone. Like, I'm talking Liverpool, City, especially when these teams are fighting for Champions Leagues and top fours. We can put everything into winning an FA Cup. But we need the squad. We need the depth. We need, out of the 9 subs, we need 6 that can change the game. You're allowed 5 subs. We should be able to bring on 5 subs, 5 players that can change a game. We shouldn't be relying on 1 or 2. If we're losing a game 1-0, 2-0, if we need to protect the result, we need 5 players that when they come on, the level doesn't drop.
Exactly. There's about 140 of you watching this live, so really appreciate you all. But if you haven't already done so, and if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button. We are on 51 likes right now. I know we can reach at least 80 to 100 before the stream ends. George saying it's nice to give Mitchell some competition, 100%. T saying get Diouf done ASAP. We need that in the team now. Exactly, because we're in a very nice position where we can look up the table rather than down. We've got a few wins, brought in SA, and just get a wing back sorted. And let's just focus on, rather than transfers, let's just focus on the football. And it's the perfect time as well, because the midweek games are done now. It's done. It should be week to week. Even the FA Cup weekend is an FA Cup weekend. It's not like a midweek game. So now's the perfect time. Now's the perfect time to kick on. And we've only lost 2 games since October. However, as I said all along, for me to get excited, and now I am excited, especially with SA coming in, and to get back-to-back wins, which we managed to do without SA getting involved, but it was, it took a while. We need to bring in players. I think a couple players was missing in the squad, and that bench is going to look much more healthy, and serious competition will only elevate the rest of the team. I don't know if it's linked to it. I don't know what you thought about it, Lou, about SA coming in and people saying that's the reason why Eze had a performance like he did, because I thought his performance was good. But naturally so, if you have another player in your position, even Nketiah, like, he played very good yesterday, in my opinion. He won the penalty. I know there was an opportunity when he first came on. We went a bit wide with it. But look, overall, he looked exciting. But naturally so, when these players are hearing that player A is coming through, and hold up, he's a forward player, they're going to have to up their game. So it's going to only help us even get better. And look, we're going to talk about Wharton. there's a lot of positivity. Let's just make sure we end the next week with another transfer.
If we get Diouf in this week, am I wrong in saying every single player is in training that we have? There's no one missing.
Apart from France. Oh well, France is in training.
France is in training, but I'm saying everyone's in training.
Yeah, we haven't got any major injuries.
If you've got everyone in training, do you know what the levels are like? Just the levels that everyone's going to be pushing each other to. And Glasner's, I always say Glasner's best when he has 1 week's, full week's training with them. He gets them on the field, he gets the tapes out. And obviously this week we got more than a week. We got all the way till Sunday. This is the time. Early this week, get it done. Get him through the door. Give him what he wants and let him cook. The ingredients are there. We just need that last bit of, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just a little spice. You just need a spice, and then afterwards, like, yes, this dish is like 10 out of 10.
Tasted it. We've tasted it. It tastes good, but there's one.
But we just need that. Yeah, hold up. This season it could do well. Exactly. Just add a bit of seasoning to it. What Tim is saying is right. Key is to give Glasner belief in the club so that he's willing to sign an extension. Exactly. That's what I said as well. We have to give him belief, and the only way we do that is by bringing in players nice and early. So with Diouf, let's not waste any time. We'll go through some comments before moving on to other bit of news, because there's a few more news. As always, people, make sure to send in your comments throughout the show. And even if you're watching replay, in the comment section down below. Stephen saying, no messing around. The value of our squad has grown massively, so make this happen. And in turn, we have more chance of keeping our other players and Glasner. Look, exactly, because every game matters. And I'm not put in like a position that I want us to finish in terms of like 7th or 6th or anything like that, because my stance has always been that we should be aiming for top 10 again. At least on
top 8, man. I've got my eyes on top 8.
It depends how it goes, but for me, top 10 was always like the minimum. That should be like the minimum aim because of the manager that we've got at the football club. But as you look at the league table and the amount of games that we've got to play, as well as considering the fact that we've still got players to come into the side, including Wharton and Esse, which 100% helps our squad, and Decore, who's not fully fit yet. This is not the best of Palace, by the way, people. Riyadh ain't hit full fitness. Yeah, it's not the best of Palace. So, like, we can get better than this. So let's live up to the expectation and let's kick on second half of the season, because the first half of the season, especially the first few months, it was a nightmare. We couldn't win a game till game week 9. And Glasner gave his reasons. He gave his reasons even after the Leicester game. He spoke about it. He said that, we couldn't train with the team properly. We had injuries. Like, it was just a mess in terms of planning.
I wanted to ask the chat, we got like 156 people in here. If we sign Diouf, Wharton comes back fit, thumbs up if you think 8th place is possible. We're 7 points behind. Thumbs down if you think it's too much. There's 16 games left. Fully fit squad with a new left wing back. Who thinks we can do it?
Yeah, let us know. T, big up for the super chat.
Thumbs up if you think we can. Thumbs down if you think it's tough.
Saying Wharton returns, Diouf comes in, and France are finally healthy. The squad starts to look very dangerous. Exactly. You look at the bench, and then you start thinking, hold up, who's not going to be part of the squad? There's going to be a lot of, a few players that's going to have to drop out. And look at the players that they're going to be swapped with. The likes of, Corpora, I think his time will come, but now I don't think he's going to be this season. But for example, if you're dropping Corpora and then bringing in the likes of Diouf into the side, for me, that's an improvement. Pure to the fact that this player already has experience playing in Europe and fits our system now and is ready now. You're bringing Wharton instead of Jeffrey Schlupp. Do I have to even add anything else? If I do, then you need to check yourself. Like, I don't need to explain myself. Wharton for Jeffrey Schlupp. That's still an improvement. And then you have Decore on the bench who's not fully fit. So yes, this squad has not lived up yet to its potential. And we're saying this whilst talking about, can we finish 8th in this current segment?
Bullock said too compact in that mid-top section. Isn't the fact that it's compact that's easier? If there are big gaps is when it will be harder. We're 10 points off 5th and 11 points off relegation.
And with how many games to play?
With 16 games to play.
Yeah. And we've got teams to face likes of
all around us
as well, Fulham and etc. Like, it's going to be
bigger teams. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, City, all got Europe. Some teams are still in the League Cup semi-final. There's Premier League, all FA Cup ties. Listen, we had our injury crisis. Fingers crossed. I'm saying if we don't have another one, obviously we might pick up the injuries here and there, but it feels like we're a bit past that. Once we get a bigger squad, the load won't be so heavy on all of our players.
Yeah, it's exactly, and we can get another. Like, we will get injuries, unfortunately. Hopefully, the thing that gives me more hope is the fact of how Glasser's managed the players that were injured so far this season, and you can tell like the players in terms of the scheduling and the games management, minutes management. Like, we're not rushing players. That gives me hope that we're doing our best off the field, especially to make sure we minimize the risk of injuries. And right now, the squad is in a good state. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. But I do think that comes down to the whole management behind the scenes in terms of like making sure players are not rushed back. So that is one of the things that gives me hope about, hopefully we don't go into an injury crisis. Chris,
my big thing as well is we got to make Selhurst a nasty place to come again, man. It's
Brentford game. Everyone will be out for it. Trust me.
It's been. I
feel like now there's a bit of confidence.
The atmosphere has been a bit flat. A lot of teams can come here and get a result. Our away form has been unreal, so we need to make what our home form was like towards the end of last season. Obviously, we're not going to win every game. That's not how it works. But we need to make it like a really tough game. Like, no one wants to come to Selhurst.
Yeah, exactly. Because our home form has been the bigger problem than our away form. Away from home, we've actually been good. We've been one of the better sides.
Because we're good with teams coming onto us. But we need to be able to remember at the end of last season, we would start games and we would just be on them non-stop.
Yeah, but do you think it comes down to some of the players that we've had available? Like, I think Sar's a fantastic player. But for example, Sar suits an away game in theory more than a home game because of like spacing behind, etc. But now that you have the option of bringing off Essay off the bench, for example, who's a different type of profile to Sar, that gives you that flexibility. So that's a positive thing, and that is the reason why I was talking about. For us to be a bit more consistent, we need to bring in players, and that is the reason why I'm looking forward to it now, because I'm like, hold up, we got a different profile now off the bench. So if we're struggling at home, if teams are sitting in deep, we can bring this profile off the bench and we can start him. So that's the positive. And that is why things are looking more on the up. But
I see a few people saying about we don't need to replace Chalobah. We don't.
Let's quickly talk about that.
Richards, there was an article saying they want 40 million for him. Like, hell no.
Yeah. So according to Alan Nixon, Chelsea won a stunning £40 million for Trevor Chalobah after recalling him from Crystal Palace. Palace are unwilling to meet the demands and pay Chalobah's wages, which is around £7 million a year. Yeah. What you said. Hell no. Hell no. Do not give them the money. Do not give them £40 million. No way.
He's worth half of that with half of those wages.
There's no way we will entertain that. Yeah.
He's worth about half of that with half of those wages. That's about what
ridiculous. They think they're cheeky. That's the thing. They think we're dumb or something. That's what pisses me off the most. Like, if we were... I know some people complain about Parish and Dougie and ownership, and we can all have healthy debates around that. But we're not an awful run club. We're not a shambles. And I find that disrespect if they think that Palace would be willing to pay £40 million plus, of course, he's on high wages for Trevor Chalobah. Like, we're not dumb. Stop playing like we're dumb. And that's what annoys me the most about Chelsea. But yeah, move on from that. Don't even entertain it. Block the number.
I told you, block it, everything. The two most important things for this team right now is a fit Adam Wharton and a new left wing back. They are the two main things. Listen, if I could donate my groin to Wharton, I would send it.
I believe that, because he asked about Wharton every single day in the chat. Like, you wake up and 9 times out of 10, you'll see Lou talking about Wharton and be like, is he in training videos or what's going on? Like,
listen, I'll send it first class delivery, recorded service, anything. Amazon same day delivery. You can have my groin. I'm retired. We can swap.
I'm retired. You can have my groin. I don't need my groin. You say that like you're not still like a living human being. Can function.
I'll have his one. I'll have his dodgy one. I'll take the blame.
Have his dodgy one. Gabriel saying, don't know if you've spoken about Diouf yet, but he will force a move should he need to. And also, I've been watching clips of him in training, and it's very funny, Mateta type personality, which is good to see. But yeah, let's move on to Wharton, because Chalobah, I don't even want to spend much time talking about him, people, because yeah, as I've said, it's ridiculous. We're not going to be paying that much and also be covering his wages as well. Chelsea think they're cheeky by recalling him and expecting Palace to sign him on a permanent deal. Like, jog on. So according to Alan Nixon, very positive news is that Adam Wharton is due to be back in training next week after layoff from a complicated groin operation. That is massive. I don't want to be that guy, but it's like having a new player in the squad. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we haven't seen a fit 100% Adam Wharton so far this season, even when he was playing. We haven't, because he's had an injury problem all season long. So Wharton coming back, and not him, if he's coming back 100% or even 80 to 90% and not like 50% as he was before, that changes a lot of things.
Everything.
Remember how good this guy was last season.
Well,
Just remember that.
This guy he's insane, man.
The connection that we will have, he will help everything in terms of defensively, build up play from the back, pass, giving the balls to Eze. And teams,
could you imagine Wharton those balls around the corner away from home into Sarr? I'll take my groin now.
There's a smile on my face for a reason. It's not because we got 3 points yesterday, but I'm just imagining how much of a plus that would be for us. And we're going to have to be asking questions about who's going to be dropped out of the side. For me, I think Will Hughes still remains there, and you add Wharton next to him. But then you have, if Kamada can perform as he did against West Ham, you have Kamada as an option off the bench.
This is what I'm saying.
You have the Corey, you have Lerma. Lerma gets the squad is looking much more healthier. However, I have to add, when it says next week, because he releases these articles on a Sunday, which next week is taking.
Better be talking about Monday, bro. I don't want to. It better not be the 27th.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it like tomorrow, like next week, or is he? I don't know. It should be tomorrow, anyways. If you say next week, it should be from tomorrow.
If it's next week, it's tomorrow. That's the next week.
Yeah, exactly. It should be. Exactly. It should be. But you know how sometimes they word it they say it in a certain way, and it's like the week after or whatever. But yeah, it should be next week. But look, he's not going to be available for Brentford. I don't think so. No, he's back to training. However, I mean, if you look at the schedule, even if it's an option off the bench, yeah, Doncaster maybe that weekend. On the bench. Yeah, Everton, like. At least mid-Feb, if he's available, then that's still fantastic. Because he takes.
I'm looking for we don't need him because we just need to get through Brentford and Man United. That will give him 2 weeks, then Doncaster 3 weeks, and a week after that will be another month. So if that gives him, he'll only miss 2 Prem games in the next month. So if he misses Brentford, Man United, the next Prem game after that will be a month from tomorrow. The weekend, well, it will be about a month.
Exactly. So as long as he's back in training, that's what that matters. And then hopefully he should be fine. I don't think he'll be like Decore. The reason why I'm saying that is because
I need some facts to back up this claim.
The reason why I think he's thinking that is because it's been a complicated growing.
But it's not complicated. It's not like it's just the scar tissue healing. That's it. It's just discomfort. It's not an actual injury.
But I think what he's thinking of is like, look how we've been managing Decore and even France. So we're going to take our time with it.
That's a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's a whole different injury. And look how long Decore was out for. Like, yes, Wharton's been out with an injury, but he's still playing some point this season, and he's coming back already. Like, he's not out for a whole season. So I don't think he will take as long as Decore. There's no way because
he had two more injuries after that. Decore, he had a knee injury in pre-season, and then he had the toe injury against Leicester.
Exactly. So he's had more injuries than Wharton. But even if Wharton comes off the bench for like half an hour or so, that could make a difference. It could make a difference.
Give me 5 minutes. Give me one of those round the corner passes. Then just
one of the balls. Like, he's got a vision, and the way he makes it look so easy as well. He's just naturally gifted. Look at the likes of Elise. There's certain players here that they are just like they've got it. It's the vision. It's not just about the technique. Look, we know about Wharton's technique. It's fantastic, but his IQ is what makes it special. Like he's gonna be like a new player. I hate to use that phrase, but he's literally
It's
gonna be
not.
like.
It's not a groin injury. It's like growing. Listen, it's not a groin injury. It's something to do with where his ball sack comes down into the socket. That's what it was.
I'll be real. I'll be real. I didn't end up going down that route. I didn't even know that was the case, but I'm pretty sure.
Listen, I'm tapped it. Look, Bruno. Wharton's injury completely different to Decore's.
Bruno from the Palace Way people, make sure to check out the Palace Way as well. The only concern with Wharton is getting fit and avoiding other injuries. There's no loss of movement with an Achilles injury. Exactly.
We got Bruno as well. West Ham was his first away game. Got no.
Is it? Did you see him?
Yeah. I saw him
He enjoyed the game.
Brought us good luck.
Exactly. Yeah, man. All right. I'm gonna go to more away games as well. Gonna swap your balls too.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If he stays forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Take one of my balls and go
sign one of those Haaland contracts or like 2034, I think. You sign a contract, if you sign one of those contracts, then maybe we could talk. But by the way, there's over 200 of you watching it live, which is fantastic. Thanks to every single one of you. But if you haven't already done so, people, hit the like button and also subscribe. Fantastic to have all of you here as well and getting involved in the chat. It's good to talk with you lot, especially after a win. Well, whenever, to be fair. It's like a therapy session majority of the time because of the club that we support. But when you have days like this, when you're talking about positivity, when you talk about players coming back and what's the limitations of the squad and what we can do with the squad, it's much better. It's much better than how it was at the start of the season. So it's all good to see you lot for that. Bruno also adding this, saying no risk of Wharton getting worse. The surgery went well. It's just about waiting for the pain caused by scar tissue post-surgery to disappear.
I know about my player. I know I'm tapped in.
Exactly. Trust me, if there's someone who knows about Wharton's injury, it will be Lou. Because this guy, he watches training videos and analyzes like, where is Wharton? Like, is he at the background? Is he training in the gym? Is he doing full? What? Like he searches everything. So he will know. You will know.
I've been researching his injury, seeing I might offer can I help in any way?
Can I help anyway? Can I help anyway? Can I go there? Like, oh, that's crazy. So I'm saying it's going to take Wharton several games to get them match sharpness, but he'll still ping those balls to Eze. Yeah, even if he's coming off the bench, that'd be good. But of course, I'm not expecting him for Brentford or even like Man United. Look, it's a positive update. That's the biggest thing. It's a positive update. If he's training, that's positive because he wasn't training before. So hopefully everything goes well there. And it's all going to be about getting fit and match sharp. Glass's system is high intensity. And Seek is saying, just like me on França. Yeah, França will have his time, but I don't think we're going to be seeing França anytime soon. Look, people, we're going to wrap up. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like and subscribe. There's loads of content out. There's a match reaction. If you didn't watch it yesterday, we had some great callers. Check that out, as well as the player ratings that dropped today. Patrick and Lou giving insight breakdown as well. Yeah, exactly. So, if you like your tactics, your stats, that was great. But if you have enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe, and get involved. If you do have any questions in the comment section down below after we end it, we'll be back next week. But thankfully, we're not in a rush in terms of like midweek games, so we can relax and do content properly with smiles on our faces. But let's see tomorrow. If there's positive update, we'll be here. We'll be here covering it all. But that's it from us. And until next time, up the Palace.